good morning, good morning. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Give us a couple minutes. We'll wait for a few more people to get on here. They're coming. Okay. Crazy interesting day yesterday, right? But huge up days, then down for 2 days, but not down a lot. We bought both sides because if we break 3,800, pretty sure we're going to get to 3,900 by Tuesday. So let's see. If we break 3,700, pretty sure we're going to get to 3,600. So both the calls and the puts can go to 50 if we really rock. You don't have to buy them for 390, the ones I did. You could actually go 25 points higher and get them for about $1.25. Or you can go 25 or 30 points higher and add a day to both of those. Or so you can do Mondays. Very interesting. Snowman was the top pick for Motley Fool. So it looks like Motley Fool follows me too. Very interesting, right? Interesting. So then we see. If anybody has or wants to come on here and talk or give us your opinion, because this is a day where you have news, everything changes. Nothing matters right now. Nothing matters. Okay? Very straightforward. But you have to trade stuff. Yesterday, I got a message a little bit later in the day, said, Sam, I didn't sell my now. Well, look, first of all, we had the 415s. We had the 415s that we bought at 1. We sold those at 5 or 6, and they went to 32. They went to 22. And we rolled up to the 430s yesterday, and they really ripped huge, all the way to 7. They went to 8. And think about this. I'm at the doctor, and I still got the trade-off because I put the order in before. I put the order in at 15, and I just did a cancel replace on my phone. As soon as I seen it, I said, boom, it's going to go to 7. Boom, sold it. Just like that. You guys, you got to trade them because then it dropped, and they closed it, one-ish. You got to trade them. You can't give up profits like that. This is not the market where you get second, third, fourth days. Maybe you get a few here or there, but you're not getting second, third, fourth days. So you got to trade them in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay. Then you'll do better. You'll do better. Okay. So the one thing when you trade SPXs and they go in the money, they settle for cash. Know that. They settle for cash. Okay. The pot stocks all moving. Tillery, does it move a second day? Does it squeeze to 5? Possible. Who knows? Very interesting. But it's not a done deal. It looks better. And all the pot stocks look better. They're letting people out of prison and they're going to do all that stuff, which they should do. Crazy world we live in, right? Crazy world we live in. Okay? Then we see. Interesting. Okay? But today, what happens here? So now SPX is going up here. If by 7:30 there's $7, we'll have covered both sides, and I will sell whichever side is up and let the other side run. And maybe it runs big one way or the other. Okay? But today's snow, you want to see if the market is good, this has an opportunity to go all the way to 200 and 200 plus. Very, very, very strong yesterday. Okay? But guys, nothing has changed. Did you see AMD missed by 1.3 billion? They bought Lam Research up when Micron says we're going to spend less money, so we're going to cancel a shitload of orders with Lam Research. They didn't say it specifically, but that's what it means. Okay? And the cycle, I keep telling you, is 18 months minimum. Usually it's 24 to 36 months. In 2001, when the Y2K cycle and all that broke, it took 6 years for the cycle to get better. What does that mean? Here's what it means, guys. If Micron makes $2, they made $2 in March. Now, next quarter, this quarter, when they report, they're going to make 4 cents. Then they're going to miss again, and they're probably going to go negative. When are they going to make $2 again? Best case, they go up 10%, 10%, 10%, and they're still not back at making $2. Don't think you just go from 4 cents back to $2. You're going to have to go 4 cents. You're probably going to be negative. Think about it. If they didn't cut CapEx, they would be down. They would have lost 50 cents this quarter. So I told you the story on U.S. Steel, Sam's story on U.S. Steel. This is the most telling story that Sam ever had. So way back when, they made like $22. And then they came out with earnings. And they met earnings. But they guided revenue down by like $2 billion for U.S. Steel. And the stock was down 80, and Sam's like, well, this is stupid. It's at 230. And it was down 80. It was like to 150, 160. I don't know. It was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is stupid. They make $22. They guided revenue down. In 3 quarters, I started watching it every day. And in 3 quarters, they lost money. They lost money. U.S. Steel, symbol X. Can you put up symbol X? Miguel, symbol X. So look at this. This thing is at $19. This thing hasn't hit 230 in 20 years. In 20 years. This used to be $230 stock. Think about that. Now go back and look at history of Micron, and you see the same thing. SanDisk. They used to go up. SanDisk used to go from 20 to 90 and go back to 20. And it'd take 2.5 years to get better. Lam Research is not going to get better. Doesn't mean it doesn't go up. 2 different things. Let me tell you, if the jobs report comes in negative, anything is possible. Guys, anything is possible. Okay? If the jobs report comes in negative, Lam Research could go to 440 today. 440. Doesn't mean that they're not going to miss. Doesn't mean they're not going to guide down. They're going to think it gets better, but it's not going to get better. Okay? So just understand this. Understand this. This is the market you have. Nothing is getting better. Just because they stop raising rates doesn't mean everything gets better. Things are really going to collapse at some point. At some point. Think about Netflix. Netflix technically at 252 is an into the gap breakout to 272. Netflix is going to go sell ads. They're going to lower people's price. And people that can't afford $18 are going to pay $8. And then they're going to charge ads to the companies. They're going to charge them more money than anybody ever pays for an ad ever. Here's the thing. Here's what Netflix and the companies are saying. Guys, people like, Oreos. We're going to go give an Oreo cookie ad to people that are watching Netflix because they can't afford $10 to not watch commercials, but they're going to go buy Girl Scout cookies at $8. Think about the logic. It doesn't get better. Doesn't mean the stock doesn't get better. It means that earnings don't get better. That's what you have to know. That's what you have to know. Then we see what happens. Today, I would love the jobs to come in way low, SPX to rip to 38.50, 38.80, and then Tuesday we collapse on CPI. Very interesting. Don't know. No. But if we break 3,700 today, get out of the way. It's going to give it all back. Get out of the way. Then we see. Okay? Banks. Think about the people that are saying stupid stuff. The banks, for 25 years, people have been telling me this stuff. When interest rates go up, the banks make more money. Okay? You really believe that shit? I would so destroy people on TV. Oh, the spread's wider, they make more money. How come their stock's down $130? Because they lose money, because they lose on credit, on people not paying loans. They lose money on less business. They're like, oh my God, they made an extra 5%. Banks make an extra 5% on the spread. Oh my God, they have all these deposits, they make more money. They have no investment banking. Nobody comes public. They lost all that money. All this stuff is bullshit, guys. Very, very simple. Think very, very simple. And Netflix tells you that. Why is Netflix not 130? It should be 130. Doesn't mean it doesn't. Technically, let it go to 272. It goes to 272, we're going to short the shit out of it. Okay? Amazon. Why are they doing another Prime sale? Because they're going to miss revenue and they better do another Prime sale? Very possible. Very possible. You can't even make some of this stuff up that I see on Twitter. Steve Jobs' daughter says you don't need a new iPhone. Jesus. How the hell did he raise this girl? He can't even make that shit up. It's unbelievable. Okay? So just keep an eye on stuff that you know and think of the logic when you do it. Now, Lam Research should have gone down. We got some puts. It should have gone down. It's down, 6 or 7. If the market craters, it's going to collapse 20 or 30. AMD guided down. We know they're going to guide down. Every single tech company is going to guide down because of the dollar. Every single one of them. You just have to know this. But when? Doesn't mean the stock goes down if they guide down. Maybe it's in it. Maybe they hold it, and then they guide down again. Think about this. Here's what I'm hearing on AMD. I mean, this is the utter stupidity of people. Oh, the guide down is bad, the stock's down a little bit, but next quarter they'll guide up. Why are they going to guide up next quarter? Why are they going to guide up next quarter? Explain that to me. Micron just told you it's bad for 3 quarters. Why are they going to guide up? They miss this quarter, they're going to guide down another $1 billion next quarter. Think about people that have Tesla. Tesla's continuing to go low. You have Tesla at $1,400 from, let's say you bought it at $100, $1,400. But it split huge before. So you say you had it at $1,500 and you don't want to ever sell it. And now it's $650, $680, $690 with the split, $690. You're down $900. Guys, sell stuff or buy puts. Don't get caught getting destroyed. Don't get destroyed. Go slow. I usually buy 200, 100, 200, 300 contracts. Look at what I'm buying. I'm buying 50 SPXs. I'm buying 20. Because 20 is still fine, or 10. Because if you buy 15 or 10 and it goes 50 points, you still do just fine. Don't want to take a great account to shit. Don't do that and sell stuff. Now can go to 452 today if the market rips 100 points. Or if it breaks this 417, then it failed at the beast number, but it did move 18 points. And it's back to 370. Very straightforward, very straightforward. Thinking, NC says, the logic is simple. Past 2 months, their awareness about cost of living would have increased. The pressure to take less than suitable jobs would have increased, causing many people to accept jobs. But the U.S. job data will show more people have taken jobs and less people are unemployed. Probable. Okay. So how does the market want to view it? If the market views is less people are working, more people are unemployed, that means they can't spend money, in theory, so they take rates lower, less hikes, better for the market. That's what the market thinks. But it's a fallacy. The whole thing's a fallacy. Every single Fed guy is telling you, they're not going to stop. And everybody thinks they're going to stop. Now, Scott Minier came on yesterday and he said some very interesting stuff. And this is the most telling. Is he's saying something is going to break. The Fed is going to break something in the EU or something. They're going to break something really bad. I agree. But here's the thing. Why? If let's say you run money, let's just say you have your household account and it's $500,000. And you just lost $300,000. Are you telling your wife? 90% sure you're not. 90% sure you're not. Are you telling anybody you lost $300,000? No. But when you go broke and it goes to zero, she's going to find out and you're going to tell her. Okay, so now let's go to all these hedge funds. Is a hedge fund saying, oh my God, I got whacked, I'm getting destroyed, or this is about to fail? They're not telling you shit. Is you're not going to know it happened till it happens. The day that it happens, you're not going to know. Go read about Lehman Brothers. One of the executives for Lehman Brothers was at a presentation raising money. And he went up there. I mean, this is fascinating. He went up there and he's saying, we're in great shape. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Our stock's going to triple. We're going to do this. This is an executive. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. And he sat there and he's raising money telling people we're going to go do this. Meanwhile, they declare bankruptcy while he's telling them this. He didn't know shit. But he's an executive. Who cares? Do you think Jamie Dimon knew that guy was losing $1.2 billion overseas? He didn't know shit. Jamie Dimon didn't know shit. And none of his managers knew anything. They don't even know. They don't even know. And Scott Minion said this. They're rapidly raising rates. If they do another 75, they're going to break something. And it's going to break really bad. And that day you'll know. And the Fed will pivot because look, the Fed is not going to let the market go to zero. Nobody lets the world break. In 2008, I heard people say, you need to let all the banks go to zero. You need to let the banks go to zero. You need the banks to completely go broke to teach people a lesson. Really? Then everybody gets a gun and they go start shooting everybody. The market and the world doesn't work like that. They don't do that. They will talk it up and they will take it down and they will crater the market if they need to crater the market, but at some point they will reverse. And can they fix it at that time? Who knows? But the world doesn't end because somebody says, oh my God, let's teach everybody a lesson. Now they should, but it doesn't work that way. Okay, that's what we know. Okay, let's go through numbers here real quick. SPX, 38, 3809, 3852, downside 3700, 3751, 3651, sorry. Regeneron holding nicely, 772, 781, underneath 681. CMG breaking, poster child for rip people off. Let's just raise prices. Really? Think about this. 1551, 1482. NVIDIA. Why is this thing not at 109? You got 119, 116, 109. Goldman Sachs. 199, 191, 317 upside. Land Research. 411, 391, 372, 331. The dollar. Keep an eye on this. Over 114, as bad as it gets. Underneath 109, way better. UNH, earnings next week. You know, I don't know if it can get over 540. It's been 4 weeks and they haven't done anything. 540 is probably hard. Okay? Underneath 491. Saba yesterday. Now here, guys. To learn premiums, I'm going to give you a tip here. Don't forget this. Okay? So Saba was at 140.9. 140.9. And the 142s were $1. So $1.10 out of the money, they're $1. And then yesterday, when I mentioned them, the stock was at 42, and the 45s were $1. 3 points out of the money were $1, when it used to be the day before 1 point out of the money were $1. All of a sudden, it goes to 210. You made $1, and then it dropped. That's premiums. Premium tells the story. Apple, 141, 138, needs 152. Google, holding better, 102, 106, underneath 98. Amazon, a little bit better, needs 123, 126, under 116. MDB can't get out of its own way, 191, 172, needs 209. Snowman, very straightforward, 191, 196. Netflix, 352, underneath 321. NOW, 433, 442. Tesla, 231, 209, needs 272. Enphase, this one broke lower and it didn't pop. Nobody came to defend it. Careful, something else is up, 232. First Solar, hits 1. Think about First Solar. Go look at First Solar. Every single time it hits a high of year, it drops 5 to 8. Every single time. 10 for 10. Interesting, right? Let's keep that on your back of your mind. Okay. That's what we know. That's what we know. Let's see what happens. We'll know at 7:30. Everybody have a great trade day. See you in chat.